White Lotus or Yellow Jacket?
Now the time has come to see the show.
Hello there. Yeah, that was different.
Yeah.
This is Drew here with my little sister Ashley.
Hello.
Hey, White Lotus or Yellow Jacket? Indeed, we're gonna be discussing one of those today, not the one that Derek watched. He would have been joining us for today's podcast, but somehow we'll explain his mix-up in a minute. But before we do that, what are we doing here, Ashley? This is New Release, a TV podcast where?
I forgot the mission statement, so where we watch things that we like.
No.
I like to make up a new one each week instead.
Yeah, the every other week thing is really killing you. It's where we make our favorite TV shows
Magical. I don't remember this at all.
feel special.
Great.
Do you know the Creep song? I mean, the Radiohead song?
Yeah.
Sing it.
No.
So very special.
But I'm a creep.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll remember that, but not the actual.
Yeah, we make
Favorite
our
podcasts.
favorite TV shows feel so very special.
And creepy.
How about that?
Yep.
Yeah, and creepy, and appropriately this week. Episode number 247 of New Release. Prime or not Prime?
Not Prime.
Really? Did you look this one up?
I didn't. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is 247 a prime number? Not indeed. Any
That's a hard
care to
one.
guess? Care to guess what it's
7.
divisible by? Nope.
8.
Nope. An
No.
unlucky number.
Oh, 13.
13 and 9. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
That was a
Okay.
tough one. So I'm not gonna boo you too hard.
Did I get an
for-
award? A roller coaster?
Oh wait, yeah, you got it right. Yeah, you get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, please don't boo. Yeah,
We're
perfect.
gonna be playing that nonstop throughout this episode. Unlike White Lotus season 3, which just slapped all fans in the face. Like I was literally playing the theme music all day long.
Oh, no.
Mostly to troll Jamie. And guess who got trolled? Me and
Yep.
everyone.
Yep. Yep.
Because they changed the. I wasn't even 100% sure. We were talking about the intro for Severance, which got us banned from YouTube. No. I had to edit our last Severance video because I guess we played too much of the intro.
Too many seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
So I couldn't remember if it was the same from season 1 to
Yeah.
season 2, and then for some reason, just when it hit peak popularity,
They changed it.
Cristobal decided to change it on us. So you should look up the composer of White Lotus. He's a cool guy with like long gray hair, but like a bright red beard.
Does he have other like songs I would recognize or themes?
Good question. I don't know what else he's composed. There was a couple things more recently that he's probably much more on the radar after White Lotus. I think that was his breakout, but I'm sure he's done stuff. So before we fully get into season 3 of Yellow Jackets, we're gonna read Derek's review.
Of Yellow Jackets.
Should we read it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Do you have it handy?
Yeah. Do you want me to read it in Derek's voice?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. I haven't heard his voice in a long time, so
Do
forgive
your
me.
best.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't think I can do Derek's voice. Then. Creepy intro. No, I can't. I'll just read it that voice.
Okay.
Creepy intro with the girl running through the forest with what sounded like witches chasing her, and then plop into a pit of spikes. Transition to high school soccer, and this gang of girls who have a rad friendship, all different in their own ways, but similar goals on the field. And then cut to their lives as adults. Plane crash, more gore, and of course there are murderers. Got away with it for now.
Is this first off? Did you see? You probably didn't see the text before I responded because I kind of responded immediately.
No, I didn't.
But did you know? Have you seen Yellow Jackets?
I've only seen like one episode, so I knew when I read his description what he was talking about. Yeah.
Okay, so you did know immediately. I mean, for 1 second, like of his description,
Oh yeah.
it's like a jungle or
Yeah.
something. He says so.
Yep.
I was on
The
board
forest.
and then immediately realized
Wrong
he
show.
was mistaken. And in his slight defense, his argument for why he confused them were
The colors.
the color. They both have colors. And what else?
Both season 3, episode 1.
Oh yeah, both season 3. So those are two coincidences, and they both end in S.
Yeah.
And the first letter is kind of late in the alphabet.
Yeah. Different
So,
shows though. Different shows.
Yeah, very different shows. I kind of lost interest in Yellow Jackets during season 2. Much different show than White Lotus in the sense that we also told him he didn't need to like watch the first 2 seasons to get it.
Right.
And that is the case for White Lotus, but very
not
much
for
not
Yellow
the case
Jackets.
for Yellow Jackets.
I'm
not even, although it sounds like they're flashing. I'm not even sure he watched season 3.
I think he watched the first episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
it's fine.
yeah, ambitious. I guess he was going to catch all the way up,
I don't
but
know.
he got through one episode of the wrong show. So welcome back, Derek, in text message form.
He'll join us at some point.
Yeah.
He will.
So before we get into the actual show, White Lotus season 3, I wanted to ask you about your recent trip to a very exclusive tropical resort. No. You did just go on a nice little vacation. Did it have any parallels to the accommodations in White Lotus?
No, it was absolutely beautiful, and we were surrounded by a jungle and like
There
wild
you go.
birds and stuff. But that's pretty much it. That's where it stops.
Yeah. No infinity pools, no.
Tiny infinity pool overlooking the ocean.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess as long as it doesn't have an edge, infinity can be any size.
Yeah, but it was just like a small. I thought it was like a bigger hot tub, but it was a pool. It was
Yeah.
just, yeah.
You can even find infinity pool starring Mia Goth on
And the Skarsgård.
Shudder. Yeah.
So good.
I was going to say you can find it within yourself, but then I realized
Or an extra
that's
version
also
of yourself.
also the name of a movie. Yeah.
Yes.
What a treat that was. But did you revisit any of season 1 or season 2, or do you want to just talk briefly about, your past, your experience with the first 2 seasons and why you were excited for season 3?
Yeah, we did briefly. I don't really remember season 1 that much because I watched season 2 later than it came out, and then I
Right.
just binged it aggressively. So I don't really remember season 1 very much. So I didn't
Yeah, I
remember the
was-
location, to be honest.
Hawaii, Maui.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Season 1 was filmed during the pandemic, and like HBO approached Mike White, the creator, and was like, "What do you have any ideas? What could we accomplish? With all these restrictions in place?" And very cleverly, and he apparently writes and works really fast and efficiently. They were able to take advantage of the fact that tourism was basically non-existent. So the fact that the hotel in Maui, the Four Seasons, which now they have like a brand partnership with, that all the seasons utilize Four Seasons hotels, was basically unoccupied anyway. So it was a win-win for both sides. Like, aside from the murder, I guess Four Seasons doesn't care
Yeah.
about anybody conflating that.
Publicity over. Yeah.
It's been great for business. From what I've read, White Lotus specific, like tourism is its own category, which is ironic, due to the themes
Right.
of the show, people kind of coming in and ignoring or disregarding the local culture and just bringing their own problems and in some cases psychotic behavior to these tranquil locations.
Also, I take it back. I think I watched season 2 first and then season 1.
Okay, that makes more sense
Because
because
I was
you
wondering
watched.
why I recognized that one of the main characters, and she's like, yeah, she was in the Hawaii, whatever. And I was like, didn't this just happen? And so it skipped a season, and they went to, was it Spain in the second season?
Italy.
Italy. So they went to Hawaii, Italy, and now Thailand. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Hawaii one seemed more recent. That's why I was like, wait, wasn't she just in? But I just watched it backwards. But yeah,
Belinda, yeah.
yeah, she's great.
Yeah. So she pops
Natasha
up in
Rothwell. What's her
yes.
name?
She's a wellness leader at the resort, coordinator and masseuse, and has quite the relationship with Tanya in the first season, and Tanya kind of fucks her over.
Yeah.
But so all ended up watching, even though I had grand plans to rewatch a lot of it, was the very first episode of season 1,
Okay.
which was enough to
Yeah.
remind me of some of kind of like the contrast and not just production value. Season 3, which we'll get into in a minute, kind of starts with a big action piece almost.
Yeah.
Whereas season 1 did feel like a much more contained production, and also it felt looser in terms of like the dialogue and the social commentary. It felt more like not ripped from the headlines, but there's mentions of like Hillary Clinton, and there's just like more overt social commentary so far in the first episode of season 1 than there was in, I think, season 2 and so far in season 3. It's turned into like a little more of like a show that is focused on the characters of the show and less commentating on the outside world. I'm sure writing the first season during the pandemic in isolation was a completely different creative exercise for Mike White than he feels about the show now, and collaborating with. One thing that I think changed a lot in season 2 over season 1 was looping in more local characters that are from the location, and making them integral to the plot versus just focusing on these vapid kind of like tourists. I don't know yet on season 3 how much they're going to do that, but I think some of the core plot of season 2 involved like the sex workers and other people aside from the family that was visiting.
And they went outside the resort, not a ton,
Yeah.
but some. So that was
Yeah,
cool.
and I think we might do that for season 3. But anything else to say about the first 2 seasons before we jump in?
Not really. They seem really excited for the third season. So
All right, well, let's do it. Here we go.
Got really bad feelings. Something is off. What the fuck is this place?
I don't want to watch this.
I almost died today. But we got the room comped, didn't we, babe?
Sorry.
That was cool.
It's okay.
Yeah, you did a great job, babe.
Yeah, I didn't watch the trailer because I didn't want to see anything that's happening. I forgot that you were going to show that. That's okay.
Well, you've met most of the characters. They're not spoiling that anymore. Maybe that was involved 1 or 2 clips from the rest of the season. What I accidentally almost did was, when I was looking for a clip for this episode, HBO released weeks ahead on White Lotus. This was the teaser before the season aired, but now there's a much more spoilery look ahead teaser.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Which I tried. I started and I was like, oh no, I haven't seen this, so I stopped watching. But yeah, basically, we've watched episode 1 of season 3 of White Lotus. Starts off with a bang, so to speak, like all the seasons, but more bangs in this one. What did you make of that opening sequence? What do you think was happening?
Beautiful and scary. Shooters on the loose. We maybe know who it is. Probably not. I feel like I could never figure out what happens until the very end of these shows. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll speculate, but definitely multiple shots fired, and potentially Zion's mom, my favorite character, might be dead.
Yeah, I definitely missed some things the first time I watched it. I thought that was an alligator, but it was a dead body apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zion is Belinda's son, who we only meet at the beginning of episode 1, but like every season, it starts with the end. It starts with like the murder or the a dead body, and then flashes back to when everyone arrives. So he's not even there yet in episode 1. He's coming to visit her. So we see him, which is an interesting way to start it because he's not even a character that's in the first episode.
Yeah.
And then we see a lot of monkeys. More on that soon.
Yeah.
Maybe they did it. I've seen that. Honestly, that was one of my notes. And then I've seen an article on Vulture, like, what if the monkey did it?
Yeah.
So other people have speculated that, but rather than just one body showing up, I mean, I guess one body floats by in the pond, and nobody seems to be able to they wouldn't give away that it's Belinda. And so that's definitely not confirmed. People are speculating about how would he run away if it was his mom's body, or if it'd be more likely to react the way he did if it was someone else's body, but that's inconclusive.
Did he run away, or what did he do? I don't remember.
Yeah, he kind of like freaks out and runs across the water. That's why I thought it was an alligator.
I thought
crocodile.
he. Oh, I guess I need to rewatch that beginning scene then. I kind of remember his reaction. Okay.
Yeah, he kind of freaks out and speeds up his exit. But yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a shootout happening.
Yeah.
Now, my reaction was mass shooter at the resort, which is really fucked up, and obviously the heaviest version of some of the commentary that the show is very concerned about in terms of, social commentary. That would be a interesting angle on the increase and just the ever presence of mass shooting events, especially in America. But also it could have been like people shooting at the shooter. Yeah, like, so.
At potentially Walter Goggins.
Yeah, is that your initial?
It's too
guess?
Obvious, but I mean, he is a hired hitman, so
wait,
maybe
we don't know that.
He might be.
Okay, well, that's one theory.
What do you? I
we
mean,
know
what
he's
do you
looking
think?
for the owner. So the owner of the resort, we meet the wife of the owner, and he's looking for the male owner of the resort, who's a white dude from an American, an LBH, a loser back home, and other. I don't know. I didn't really have a strong theory, but I've definitely heard other people say that they think he's looking for his dad.
Oh.
Or just like somebody that owes him money. I don't know. I didn't jump to Hitman.
But he's traveled to all these different locations.
Yeah, he's just trying to track him down.
We'll see.
That's a good. I mean,
I jumped to Hitman pretty quickly, so I don't know. Probably not right.
it's interesting. So yeah, we have kind of like 3 groups of characters. Do you want to run through those?
Sure. There's the 3 women. One that's super successful. They're probably in their like mid-40s. Leslie Bibb is one of the characters from Popular, who I love.
Yep, that's where
And
my mind
then
went too.
What's the main woman? Is that Michelle
Moynihan?
Yeah, Michelle Moynihan. And then I don't know the third one. But Michelle Moynihan's like this really successful woman and is taking her friends since they were like kids to like this trip to Thailand. So
Yeah.
and the third one feels left out, and we'll see what happens there. And then there's another group of family who might be from Texas or from
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, somewhere with a pretty strong accent for North Carolina, I thought.
Not a great accent.
Yeah.
Or a confusing accent.
Yeah, I thought it was like maybe Texas. I was like, I don't know. But that's Parker Posey, who I haven't seen in a while, so that's pretty cool to see her. But yeah, the accent throws me off a little bit. How she talks.
Yeah, that's the Ratliff family. You know who the older son is?
Yeah, Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Patrick, Schwarzenegger, and then there's 2 other kids, and they're all there because the daughter wants to do her thesis on monks and Buddhism.
Yes. Yeah, and I guess they just use that as an excuse to go on a extravagant family vacation. She doesn't really seem to have that much figured out about her plan for going about that. She seems like her and the other younger male son seem the least dysfunctional until the masturbation scene happens, and then we don't really know what to think about the younger son either, watching his older brother Schwarzenegger go into the bathroom butt naked and start to jerk off.
Yeah. I feel like there's like two things that happen every first episode of White Lotus now. You see someone die and then you see a penis.
Yeah, and internet porn too. Because Aubrey Plaza's husband was
that's right.
Was
yeah,
indulging himself, but neglecting her. So sexual politics are definitely a thing in White Lotus. We don't see any actual sex. We see Walter Goggins' character basically turn down Tantric.
Yeah.
Or turn his nose up at it.
What's that actress's name from Sex Education? She's so good. I was really pleasantly surprised to see her in this.
Yeah. And what's weird about his character is how just much of an asshole he is. Amy Lou Wood is the actress, but I don't know what to make of his character in their relationship. I mean, obviously, it's somewhat, I guess she's benefiting by getting to travel and getting to live a little bit of an extravagant life, but they also point out that, like, this is the nicest place they've stayed.
Yeah.
Or they don't always stay at, like, 5-star resorts like this. Yeah. So basically, he's just treating her horribly the whole time, and she's not really getting anything out of it, seemingly, and she maintains a pretty upbeat
she does.
attitude regardless of that.
So there's that dynamic, and then we already talked about Belinda, and she's just there visiting from the Hawaiian resort to learn everything she can in Thailand from the resort, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and aside from, like, her being a little freaked out by the jungle and things dropping from trees above her head, she
like a
gets like
or whatever.
Yeah. She gets like a really lavish room, and we just know, I mean, aside from the shooting, things aren't gonna go great for her. She's supposed to be there 4 months, and I guess this whole season takes place over a week, or 8 days or something. So she's not gonna get to lounge and relax for 4 months, of course. But yeah, it just seems like things are going too well for her in this first episode. So yeah, that's setting up for extreme disappointment. Not to mention the big cliffhanger at the end of the episode, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't immediately recognize the returning character from the end of the episode.
Oh, and now I forgot the cliffhanger. So great.
Yeah. So Tanya's ex shows up.
That's right. He's at the table.
Yeah, he is the ultimate LBH. Bald white dudes apparently end up in Thailand. Their money goes their money goes a long way, and their status is elevated. So he is there with like a seemingly like a sex worker who befriends, or just an escort of some kind who befriends Amy Lou's character, and she's just kind of explaining the dynamics, and they live up on a big house, and
they lived there for a while, right? So I don't know if she's a sex worker.
Well, she's a girlfriend for hire.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how I interpreted it. Oh, okay. She's not interested in him. They get in fights periodically. Just the physical imbalance, the fact that she calls him a loser, like.
Oh yeah. Those things.
She's not like she wasn't hired for the night. They have been in a arrangement for some amount of time. And he has money because he successfully pulled off his scheme with Tanya. Yeah. And I mean, we don't know how much. I mean, so this is becoming. How do you feel about the fact that this is becoming a little bit more of a narrative through line Does that make you excited that this is going to call back to previous seasons, or would you want more of a fresh start?
More of a fresh start, only because I really like Tanya, so I didn't really need to see more of him. And
Yeah,
obviously she's dead, so
yeah.
it'll be
And
interesting. Though.
he knows
Yeah.
Belinda,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
so that's going to be a huge part of the season, probably.
Yeah, which is fine. I was just surprised, and not necessarily in a not negative way, just surprised. Kind of different.
Yeah, I like the little tie-ins as an Easter egg, or even Belinda. I mean, especially like if it's like I don't think she was in season 2. So the fact that they are bringing back season characters from past seasons is kind of fun. But like basically if this is the main plot that results in the violence, then it'll just be like Greg pulling strings for 2 straight seasons, and now he's like the big bad that's got like all this hold and influence over the characters on the show, and I don't think he's that interesting to warrant that.
Well, and I like the idea of having completely separate seasons. I mean, yes, you can have Jennifer Coolidge's character go from one season to the next, that's fine. But I liked having you can just watch season 3 and not have to know that he's going to be a character from the previous season.
Yeah, and that's how season 3, episode 1 ends, with this reveal. He's the guy at the table, and that's supposed to be kind of like a big reveal, and it's only meaningful, obviously, if you've seen other seasons.
I saw the reveal and I was like, oh, that shitty person. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, and obviously he's a hateable character. He doesn't... Tanya, I kind of forgot, she basically dies. She outsmarts and figures everything out, but then she just slips and falls and kills her. Yeah, and dies. So that's typical White Lotus, kind of subverting expectations. Like as soon as we start to like a character or root for them, the show is gonna make you pay for that.
Yep.
Doesn't matter whether like a character is good or likable. It's just as likely that the rat lips are gonna win. And get what they want than someone like Belinda. It's actually probably more likely. So which group are you most interested in following? Ignoring the returning characters of those 3.
Not the family. Probably Walter Goggins and I forgot her name again. The same actors.
Yeah, I don't remember what her character name is, but Amy Lou.
Yeah, I'm most excited for that dynamic. Because I think the family is kind of annoying, so I don't really know what's going on with that. And then the 3 women, I just feel bad for the 3rd one, so I'm not sure. It's kind of uncomfortable. But I like I like
Did you watch The Leftovers?
No.
Okay, so Carrie Coon is the odd person out in the first episode. I love her as a actor, and I love her in that show, and yeah, the dynamic so far between the 3 of the women is like 2 of them are pretty much winning at life. One of them is winning to the degree where people recognize her and give her special treatment, even in Thailand, and the other one is like rich and successful, or married to a very rich and successful Austin real estate developer or something. And Carrie Coon is attempting to navigate the corporate world. They say very vague things.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then and your daughter is just so curious or something. Yeah. I don't know. Or it's going to be very just very vague.
They say you make everything so tough, meaning she's doing tough things, but the way they phrase it is so
that'll be interesting too. I think I'm just least interested in the family.
Interesting. So you don't want to see incest?
No, I don't want to see that. And I don't really know what the father, the phone call was about, and that whole thing is whatever's gonna happen with that.
Just financial bullshit.
Yeah. I just don't really.
It's the Wall Street Journal. So
but that could be tied. Maybe that's tied to maybe they're all connected and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and Goggins, he doesn't necessarily overhear the call, but he's around when the dad is on the phone with the reporter, and then he also calls the other person who is wrapped up in the scheme, whatever financial scheme they created, he calls that guy and leaves him a voicemail. It's pretty sloppy and pretty kind of like, I don't know, like so far not that interesting of a plot. But the family dynamics, like the older brother being a horn dog, the middle brother, or I guess he's the middle child, the middle brother being kind of shy and
He's the youngest
Oh, he's the youngest.
because
Okay.
he's about to decide where to go to college.
Right. Yeah, Duke or UNC. This is how you know they're a North Carolina
Oh,
family.
yeah.
They have this big, even in family rivalry between these two blue-blooded schools. But like the older brother is commenting on the fact that their sister he thinks she's a virgin, and just like, I mean, it's
weird,
really weird and gross. Obviously, goes without saying. But I am curious what kind of taboos and how far the show is going to push that dynamic.
I think the younger brother is gay and the middle sister knows.
Yeah, that's a good theory. And I mean, him checking out his brother's body, even though it's really uncomfortable, would lend to that theory. And his brother is, not surprisingly, because his genes jacked.
Yeah.
Complete douche.
For sure.
And strikes out at the pool multiple times.
Yeah. Which is really funny.
With Amy Lou and the Cougars, as he calls them, I think. So people are going to be hooking up though on the show. It's White Lotus. So
it's a matter of time.
Who do you want to see pair up?
None of them.
Well, what about the older women? I mean, there's the hot young Russian massage guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, he'll probably hook up with like Leslie Bibb or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really ready for any at this moment. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I want Belinda just to have the best time of her life until she might not have any more time.
Well, what's one of the sweet parts of the show so far seems like her relationship with her son Zion is pretty genuine. Like they have a nice phone call. He is talking lovingly about her at the start of the episode, and then when the shooting breaks out, he's obviously genuinely concerned. And at first I was like, what is? He's like kind of hiding something about.
There's something.
I just got done with exams and some other stuff. He says.
Very also vague. So we'll find out what that is. But yeah, he has a secret. Everyone has a secret. Yeah,
of course. But like, I think him and his mom's relationship seems genuine. So that's nice. That not all the.
So we think.
Yeah. But all the other relationships are pretty much toxic.
Yeah.
And that's the status quo for the show. So, maybe they're going to represent some kind of
normalcy,
normalcy, or even idyllic relationship, family dynamic. What did you think about the change in scenery?
I mean, it's beautiful.
Well, actually, let's take a little tour here. Prepared a welcoming party, so let's jump in.
Oh.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Okay.
Yep.
Pretty nice. There's your infinity pool.
Yep. Dining area. Not pictured are all the monkeys that are hanging out.
Yeah, there's so many.
In case they want to send out, free accommodations, this is the Four Seasons Resort, Koh Samui, in the Gulf of Thailand. So, as you know, I've been to Thailand.
Did it look like that?
I was on the other side. I had to look at a map. The southern coast, or the southern part of Thailand, has a Gulf side and like a seaside, and I was at Phuket on the other side, which They did film, it's a TV show, so they're not filming everything in one, representing only one location. So I think when they're like on the boat and stuff, they might have been on the Phuket side, but regardless, it did look incredible and beautiful, and like the shots, especially of them approaching the resort, were very familiar to my experience. And then just like the wildlife and the even when we were in Bangkok, like you're surrounded by tropical, jungle plants and things like that, and cats and some monkeys. Not as many monkeys as these guests encounter. Not as much poisonous fruit on my trip.
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately.
That may come into play. It might be multiple deaths on this.
But so we had Hawaii and then Italy, and now Thailand so far, mostly, the Thailand beach resort. What's your excitement level for, spending time in this location?
The highest.
Nice.
It just looks so beautiful and just more serene. And we've both been to Hawaii, which is incredible. I've never been to Italy, or I've never been to Europe, but I don't know. Thailand looked really beautiful. So I can't wait to see more of the creatures, hopefully.
You definitely feel embedded in nature. I didn't realize I didn't go to Hawaii until last year for the first time, and like there's not much animal life there because it's so detached from other, the only animals there are ones that people brought, basically. So there's that. And then like where I was at in Hawaii, we did actually drive around all of Oahu, but like the resorts were way nicer than the resorts I was staying at in Thailand. So I got more of like a immersive jungle experience in Thailand, whereas Hawaii was like, I'm at a resort, which is which both of them are kind of white aspects of White Lotus, but this resort is just straight up in season 3, just straight up like in a jungle, but also beautiful, as you saw in those pictures, with stone paths over ponds and meditation huts and all the. I mean, what did you think of the resort?
Oh, it's the prettiest resort I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna book it up right now.
Yeah, good luck. It's probably
booked for years now that it's been on my list, but it's absolutely breathtaking. So
it's funny. I'm sure people like go there. Like I said, it's been a good brand partnership for the Four Seasons and HBO over the last few years. But like when I went to Phuket and we were on the island having a seafood dinner, they were playing the beach. The Leonardo, because we were at the island. You have to take another ferry like to go to that cove where they filmed the beach, but they were showing the movie.
Weird.
Because like that's just pop culture awareness, and I mean I don't think that's why my friend wanted to go there.
Yeah.
But that's why that it was at the top of mind for me.
So there's a shark attack in the or something like that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a shark attack, but more terrifyingly, in real life, you can take a boat straight to the beach. In the movie, they CGI in the mountain range all the way around. So it's not a cove. It's like literally sealed off. And the way they get to the secret beach in the movie, they follow this map from Bangkok that they get from someone. But you have to dive underwater, go through an underwater tunnel, and come up on the other side. So fuck that.
I need to rewatch that.
I'll take a shark. I'll take my luck with the shark over doing that tunnel.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't? You'd rather go through an underwater tunnel?
I think so.
No way.
But a shark, like, you're probably going to die.
No. Like, people survive shark attacks all the time. I mean, I don't know.
Would you rather get, like, severely injured or maybe unscathed? You know?
Yeah, I guess it just depends how confident I could be in the length of the tunnel. But and I guess you could always turn back, but that would just water plus darkness plus tight tunnel would
Yeah,
trigger all the claustrophobic, would just magnify that reaction where
that's true.
I don't know, I'd rather be
Whereas
mauled by a
shark during
shark.
the daytime.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
it would be over faster, hopefully.
Either way, you're probably gonna die. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So let's see. We've kind of talked about your prediction for the killer. That's an obvious one so far. It's interesting though that you thought he was a hitman. I mean, that just didn't
Yeah, I
occur to me.
immediately went to my brain. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I didn't really think. Like I said, I didn't really think too much about his motives, other than just then like his motive is to find this guy. I didn't go any further than that.
Yeah, I was thinking he was to find this guy, and he's upset because he's not here anymore because he has some type of job to do, which is
Yeah.
killing him.
Well, that's a good guess. That would certainly be one way to go about it, is to just get on a hillside and unload bullets at seemingly
But if the
multiple
monkeys do
targets.
it, I mean, that's interesting. It's very interesting.
Well, what do you make? I mean, they opened the show basically on like a slow-mo, beautiful nature shot of a monkey. And then Carrie Coon's character
Monkeys on the
encounters a bunch of
balcony.
monkeys.
Yeah.
And then there's countless other shots of monkeys. I mean, what's going on? Is it just a red herring?
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the scenery, but it's another
intentional.
level.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah.
There'll
Just
be
the fruit
something-
too. At least have the fruit as well.
I mean, the monkeys could be also kind of like, they could like steal a gun and like hide it or something, or
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're going to be involved, but unlikely that they're pulling the trigger. But people have gone into some breakdowns of like the opposable anatomical features of monkeys, and they could theoretically do that. More likely they would just be like chaos agents, and maybe you could definitely see people just like trying to unload bullets at monkeys, and instead in that opening scene, does it seem like they're targeted shots at the resort?
Well, they're pretty distant. I mean, they're not like a rapid fire. So I feel like they're targeted at a person.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
But
it's
I don't know. It doesn't seem like just like shooting at like multiple people. But I don't know.
when it first started, it was like, it just seemed you're really in the point of view of Zion at first.
I was imagining it.
Huh?
I thought he was imagining it first.
Yeah, he's like hearing some sounds in the distance, and the wellness instructor is like, focus on your meditation. And then she's like, stay still, and then she just runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his first instinct, again, to his credit, is like to look for his mom, and he's worried about Belinda. And then Glass is like getting shot at. It was really hard to tell in a good way, kind of disorienting in a good way, where the shots were coming from and what the target was, and if they were hitting anything or not. Like, but then I
Alligator.
also missed the body that was just floating by.
Yep.
So, what is your expectation level for this season based on this first episode? Do you think it's going to live up to the hype of the last couple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The writing's just really well done, and they always have incredible actors. So, I think it'll be a very good season. I'm curious. I don't like what you talked about, the reappearance of that one character at the end. So, we'll see how that makes me feel.
Before we wrap up, what did you think about the writing, and kind of, did you think this episode was as humorous or as like
Not
entertaining?
really.
Yeah, it was. It's always well written, and
Yeah.
the dynamics between like the three women are really sharp. but this episode wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And I'm
And the
sure
other
there'll
ones
be
all
more
had like
levity.
dark. Yeah, the other ones had like
Yeah.
more dark humor and more. But I'm sure. I mean, just the first episode, and it starts off super heavy. So we'll see.
I mean, I think their cattiness is supposed to be funny and entertaining. Like it's supposed to be a commentary on those dynamics, and so I think that's like very dark humor. And same for the Ratliff family.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're supposed to, their accents and stuff. I mean, maybe that's supposed to be the most broad humor, but we don't have a Tanya anymore.
Right.
She was
And-
like a pretty broad humor
Yeah.
character.
And I don't really like Parker Posey and her husband's dynamic at all.
No.
So, which I don't think you're supposed to, but it's just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, versus spending time with like Aubrey Plaza and the other couples in season 2, and then again season 1, like it was trying to be more funny at first than this is, and Walter Goggins is just deadly serious.
Yeah.
Like you can find humor and entertainment value in all of these situations, but it's not overtly trying to be funny.
Not yet.
Not yet. So yeah, I'm very excited. I like the location. I like the different groups to varying degrees. I think I probably like the women the most so far. I feel like that dynamic is the most clearly captured. The other dynamics, for better or worse, are like still being teased out. I agree with you. I have no idea what we're supposed to make of the husband and his wife, other than just that she's like jet lagged, maybe on medications that
Probably,
make her tired, drinking. So she's just like drowsy and has a ridiculous accent. The siblings are good. That's getting really weird really quickly.
Yeah.
And then I was most disappointed probably in Goggins's one-noteness. But that's gonna change, obviously. But yeah, I didn't find his character very interesting so far.
Yeah. Just a wet blanket.
Yeah, just a Debbie Downer, but obviously preoccupied with whatever his motives for being
His
there
mission.
are. Yeah.
And she's just so positive.
We didn't talk about Mook and the security guard and like the locals. She's the singer that works for the resort. She's a huge K-pop star. So what did you think about the local characters that they introduced?
I mean, she's interesting. And I like how she's kind of fangirling over that one woman. But I don't know. I don't really. She's fine. I kind of forgot about her.
Well, I mean, she's gonna perform. I mean, she's in Blackpink, like a huge band.
Wait.
K-pop.
Oh, I was thinking of the older woman.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the one that's like everyone's like, you're so pretty, blah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's a great actress. I completely forgot about her. That's well.
Great sign. It's been a whole day and a half since you watched it, so forgiven. Well, and she has this love triangle or love dynamic brewing where clearly the security guard, valet dude, whatever he is obsessed with her.
That was really cute, though.
Yeah, well, good. I don't have a lot of faith in his chances. He gives her rides to work on his go-kart. I mean, his golf cart.
Vespa? Oh. Was it over?
Is it a Vespa? Yeah, it's a Vespa.
It was a Vespa.
That's way cooler than a golf cart, I guess.
Because hers broke down, and he like picked her up and took her to work. That's nice.
Yeah, because he's stalking her and waiting for her to get off work and be late, and he probably,
I don't think I didn't get that at all. Did you get?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get like his sad, pathetic puppy dog affection for her that's completely unreturned.
Okay.
She's just using him in a very low key, not at all like manipulative way, but like she knows he likes her, and she clearly doesn't feel the same way.
Oh, I didn't think it was that clear.
Okay. Well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and they show her like she talks up the cool security guards who get to travel and they're like
Oh,
either
that's
smoking
right.
or like they have guns and they're hanging out. Like
Yeah.
she's clearly way more interested
And
in
she's
them.
like, what do you, she's like, he's like, I can just do things. She's like, yeah, you just watch cars go in and out the building or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
she said. Okay.
Well, and
Yeah.
he's like, I saved someone from drowning, and she was like, yeah, that was 4 years ago. Get over it.
Oh, that's now I feel bad for, okay. All right. So wait, so she's like, she's a big K-pop star?
Yeah, she's in Blackpink.
Okay.
And so I think she's going to perform at the resort.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Does she
Yeah.
perform with the older lady? Isn't she like a singer?
I think she's going to probably like overshadow her, I'm guessing. And maybe that'll cause some awkwardness. I mean, that's just a guess, but yeah.
Cute out. Kidding.
Yeah. So anyway, I think they're going to I think the show is trending in that direction of just being more interested in local characters. They're both the security guard, he's a Thai actor. So like I think the show is intentionally, has the resources and the time to cast people in local people in more important roles, or not just focus on the tourists. So whether that's going to work out for any of them, I don't know. It kind of turned the sex workers in season 2 into the heroes.
Yeah.
Like they win, they get money, and the other girl gets like a job playing piano at the
Singing.
yeah. So I mean, they're the kind of ones you're rooting for in season 2. I don't know if it's going to retread that or not, but you're not supposed to. Are you rooting for any of the tourist characters ever? I mean, does it matter?
No, not really.
Yeah.
But no, and she's not really a tourist, so she works there, so
Right.
just her.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Anything else you want to say?
I'm excited for Sunday. Is it come out Sunday at a certain time, or do I have is it released just on Sunday?
Yeah, it's based on time zone, based
Okay.
on East Coast like premiere times.
So
it's
if I
like
watch it
5,
Monday.
6, 7. No, it's like early evening.
Okay.
If you're in our time zone. So yeah, you can watch it Sunday evening. What we're gonna do for the podcast, coming episodes, I think Jamie and I are gonna record an Oscar podcast.
Oh, nice.
Which needs to come out next week. So you'll have a week off, and then we'll come back with either a new show, more Severance, more White Lotus. So anyway, if you come across anything new, we might have time for one more new thing while we're watching. While we're continuing White Lotus and Severance. There's a Seth Rogen show called The Studio, where he gets like thrust into the head of a major studio, coming out on Apple. Which
Wait, what was that other show with him that we hated?
yeah, it was
Kinda
another
not
Apple show.
feeling Seth Rogen, but yeah.
This seems like a better use of
That's
his talents.
Good. He's not like super unlikable, because that was really hard to watch.
Yeah, maybe more like Anchorman than
Okay,
than
the
the newsroom.
newsroom. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. But look forward to that. Follow along by following us on Instagram at New Release Podcast, on YouTube at New Release Radio. Good luck searching that. I tried to the other day. So you have to type in the URL or click on our show notes, and you can find it there.
Click the link below.
Well, that's if they're already on YouTube.
Above.
Podcasts don't have clickable
I know, but
links.
it's just fun to do.
Yeah. Well, keep pointing. Maybe it'll lead to something. And of course, you can continue subscribing on your favorite podcast app like Spotify or Apple. Ashley?
It's not a yellow jacket.